United Kingdom, we're coming your way for some live shows. September 21st in Edinburgh, Scotland on a Wednesday. Hot show happening. tcgt.com/live. I know I said before that tickets were on sale and they weren't on sale yet. By now,
they might be.
They probably still aren't, but check later this week and we'll tweet about it and Facebook about it and all that. But if you're like, I got to buy tickets right now for something, anything, you can buy tickets to our London shows, which are part of the London Podcast Festival, which is going on the 21st to 25th, I believe.
22nd. It's at King's Place.
It's at King's Place. With the important information is that our shows are what nights, Sam?
Friday the 23rd and Saturday the 24th.
Tickets are on sale there. Also, tcgt.com/live. A lot of great podcasts happening that weekend, though.
Yeah, so go check out all of it, but you can get a link to all that stuff at tcgte.com/live.
Yes.
Wait, or tour.
Tour. We'll see you there. tcgt.com/tour. Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing on this hot Friday?
Tom, I am pumped.
There's like a heat wave, like a worldwide heat wave. I didn't know that could happen.
Yeah, me neither, but
I always thought at least half the planet was turned towards space.
Ice cold.
Yeah.
I think that just means nighttime.
Oh, interesting.
It does get colder at nighttime.
That's true.
Because the sun goes out. What happens?
That's part of it, yeah.
I'm no Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
But I do know this. At night, the sun burns out for a little while before it's reignited by the rising phoenix the very next morning.
Even the sun's got to sleep.
Hey, look, does it make any sense that it's going to be on fire all the time without going out?
Come on. It's got to burn out, then somebody's got to come fill it back up with gas.
Yeah. Jesus. Guys, get
gasoline, right? That's what the sun's full of? Gasoline?
Gasoline and ethanol. A lot of ethanol. Tom.
On old rags and newspapers.
That's not true.
That's where we send all of our old rags and newspapers.
We should, Tom, I know I bring this up a lot.
Oh, God.
And I'm waiting, because I think President Trump is going to be just the man to do this.
Send all the garbage into space.
Shoot all our garbage into space.
You need to, get a meeting with Elon Musk or something. I feel like you might be able to get him on board with this idea.
I think so. Yeah, you know what?
He's always shooting up rockets. Be like, hey, buddy, next time you're shooting up one of those empty rockets, how about you put a little garbage in it?
If you don't want that, Tom, what about some sort of slingshot system?
You can't slingshot something into space.
Why not?
Because it requires too much energy to get into space. Did you see the guy who slingshotted himself and then had a parachute?
No,
pretty awesome.
You pound like a Mountain Dew Code Red, and you're like, I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos of a man slingshotting himself.
Yeah, and I'm like, sick,
bro. No. Here's the plan, and I'll do an Elon Musk. I'll kind of just open source the plans here. So any of you guys want to try this?
Right.
Dig a very, very, very deep hole.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get like some sort of rubbery material,
like a rubber band.
Yeah, but it's got to be big enough.
Right, rubbery material.
Because you say rubber band, people are like, oh, like at Staples. No, this can't be bought at Staples.
Okay.
And it's like a 200-foot hole, or like a
10,000. Now, why does it have to be a hole instead of putting two big sticks up in the sky?
Because how are you going to build those big sticks, Tom?
Good thing. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that.
And then maintaining the sticks?
Yeah, it's much easier to maintain a hole.
If it gets windy, those sticks are just going to blow right over.
Yeah. Well, if it rains, though, and the hole fills up with water?
Oh, no. Well, anyway, here's why, Tom. Because it needs to be surface level. Because you're going to lay down a tarp.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to put all your garbage on that, over the hole, right?
Okay,
And then you're going to attach a very heavy boulder to the bottom of it. And
this is just going to spread the garbage all over the place.
Pull it down, and also on the sides of the tarp, it's an adhesive material.
Okay.
So when it's all the way down...
So all the garbage sticks to it?
Yeah, and when it's all the way down, it's going to, ball up. You have some poor schmuck at the bottom who has to cut the thing that's holding the boulder to the bottom of the thing. Shoots up into space. Not our problem anymore.
There's the thing holding this, the slingshot that can shoot into space, is thin enough that it could be cut by a man with scissors.
I mean, he might have like garden shears.
Okay, it sounds.
Or maybe like a chainsaw even.
Oh, well, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Well, but another reason, don't hide that all the way down the hole. People want to see that.
You know what? If you have enough...
you got to leave a little something to the imagination.
Yeah, and then once you get a few years into this, you get the revenue of disposing of people. Then you build a second hole next to it. It's an observation hole. You make it out of glass.
The whole hole?
No, just the bottom. Tom, come on. Now you're just being willfully ignorant.
You're being obtuse. How are you doing this week? Besides that, Tim.
Tom, I'm having the summer of my life.
Really?
Can I name 3 things that I've done in the past week?
Sure.
Number 1.
I
went to a laser tag place.
What? Why didn't you invite me?
Because you weren't invited, Tom.
Why wasn't I invited?
It wasn't for you.
Who is it for?
It was for my I can't talk about it.
Oh. Secret laser tag's even more enticing.
It's an unseemly group.
Okay, I see.
I've agreed not to talk about it.
Laser tag key party?
It's
that might have been an element of it.
Man, that would be a good place for swingers, right?
A laser tag place?
Yeah. There's a lot of crevices. Like there's a lot of things that you could duck behind and
I don't think the point of a swingers party is having privacy, Tim.
Who knows, Tom?
All right. So you went and did laser tag.
Yeah. Number 2, I went to a cat cafe.
You know what? I saw your Instagram of that, and I forgot to ask more questions. Why did you go to a cat cafe?
I don't know. I hate cats.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was for...
But you love cafes.
It's for a friend's birthday.
Okay.
It was fine. You want to know what the one weird thing about this cat cafe?
What's that?
Not that many cats.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the size of a regular cafe. We were not served any food or drink, which made me happy.
Right. Aren't you not allowed to eat if they're animals?
Yeah, so we had to sign. Sign a bunch of waivers to be around like 9 cats. I thought it would be like a ball pit full of cats, where you just kind of like, swim through all these felines. Yeah.
But it was just 9 cats. Now, were the cats...
most of them were just sleeping, didn't want to be bothered.
I was going to say, like, how do they guarantee that the cats will want anything to do with you?
They guarantee nothing. In fact, they're kind of mad that you're there. The people that work there.
No, not the cats.
No,
I would understand the cats. They didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, the cats are also mad at the world because they're cats and they got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, and now they're a few of the handful of cats in the world that have to work.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have to work, though. That's the thing. Everything we kept being reminded, like, well, don't, look at the cats funny.
Don't look at the cats.
Yeah. I basically just sat on a couch. It was like being at somebody's apartment who has cats.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Okay.
Some of them would drink the water. That was kind of cute. One of them had his tail shaved like a lion.
Was that the one you posted the picture of on Instagram? Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that one's cool. It's
stop looking at it.
And they were like, oh yeah, it was very sick. We had to shave it.
Oh, come on, don't put sick cats in here.
Like, come on, God, catch something. I'm gonna come back with kennel cough.
It was sick, and we had to shave it.
Yeah, I don't know how cat care works, man.
Yeah. That doesn't happen with people. It's not like oh yeah, I had a bad cold, so I had to shave everything off.
It was a weird scene.
Okay,
I liked it.
It was a weird scene. I liked it. I'm going.
It was fine. It was chill. Here's the thing. The best if you're not a dog person, and they were like, we're gonna go to this place. It's a room with 10 dogs in it.
Yeah. It's going to be mayhem.
That's your nightmare, right? Like, if you're not a dog person. If you're me, you're like, oh, great.
It's going to be great. And guess what? The dogs are going to be just as into this as I am.
Exactly. But, you could have blindfolded me, and I would have not known anything was up in this room.
Okay.
So if you want to bring, if you really want to go to a cat cafe and somebody really doesn't want to, just put a blindfold on them. They'll be none the wiser.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Good life hack. And what was the third thing?
I don't remember. I went to the beach.
Okay. Was that the third thing or no?
I went to the beach a while ago. I just found out I still have sand in my shoes.
Yeah, you got sand all over my couch.
Yeah, it's because I took my tootsies out of my shoes.
Yeah,
shook them out where you
where I sit.
Try to relax.
Yeah, where I try and do all my relaxing.
Sorry about that, Tom.
Yeah.
How's your summer going? I feel like this is a good point. It's mid-July. It's a good point for a summertime check-in.
Summertime check-in?
Summertime check-in.
Yep. I don't know. It's going all right. It's hot. I have to change multiple times a day.
Yeah, I thought you loved the summer.
I do love the summer, but and I've said this multiple times too. I need to do what Spider-Man does, which is keep clothes hidden all around the city.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only smart thing to do.
I thought you were going to say that's the only smart thing Spider-Man ever did.
You know what you could do?
What's that?
And this is a feasible version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Get a gym membership with multiple locations.
That's true.
Just keep a locker full of clothes in all the different gyms.
No, but they cut the locks, and if there's a lock on there
I went to a public pool. That was the thing.
Oh, okay.
That's weird. They have cops in the locker room watching you undress, and then they spray you with a hose.
They spray you with a hose?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because you're supposed to take a shower before going in.
Right.
And then I guess, I took a shower before going in. Because, people are filthy. I appreciate that in a public pool. And then as you're walking out, they kind of don't believe that you took a shower, and they just, hose you down real quick.
What?
Yeah.
Why is that the cop's job?
I don't know. Actually, that's not as far as cop tasks. That's not so bad. Shooting a
hose?
And I'm not talking about the bad times that cops shot hoses at people.
Right.
I'm talking about at the public pool,
right,
where you have a garden hose, and the water was warm, which was kind of like, how do you get warm water out of a garden hose? Something's not right here.
Right. Well,
I don't like any of this.
Yeah, that's weird. It seems like they don't need a person to do that. They could just make a waterfall you have to walk through.
Yeah. Well, they also have to frisk you.
Oh, okay.
For firearms and other weapons, I guess.
Wow. So going to a public pool sounds like a lot of fun, Tim.
Yeah. I imagine a lot like prison. There's authority figures watching you undress, making you shower, and frisking you down all the time.
How much did it cost to go to the public pool?
Free.
Oh, wow.
Free of charge.
Oh, I can't beat that then.
Yeah. I think the way they charge the cops who want a show.
Oh, okay. So they get pervert cops in there, and
I guess
cops who just water gun fights.
Yeah.
Well, hey, everybody wins.
It's a win-win. Summertime fun. Tom, this is very important. This was why I brought up the public pool, and I totally forgot.
Okay.
So another one of the cops' jobs in the locker room was to, and I don't know if anyone gave him this job.
Now, Tim, are you sure this was a cop? Before you say
he was
more.
a fully uniformed member of the NYPD.
Okay.
And so what he would do is he'd go around and try to pop all the locks on the lockers, because you had to bring your own lock.
Yeah.
Right? So he'd go and try to break the locks, because a lot of people had weak locks.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd and if he could break a lock off, he would take that lock and then put one of those zip ties to keep the thing closed.
Lock closed.
Keep the lock closed. Mm-hmm. Right. So this was ostensibly so that
so a bad guy didn't do it and steal everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you went back to your locker and saw that your lock had been smashed by an officer of the law and taken, and there was a zip tie, you just then walked up to the police officer and said, "Hi, that's my locker," and he would cut open the zip tie.
Yeah.
And you could just take whatever's in it. but like there's no way to prove that was yours.
Yeah.
So he's making it easier for people to steal things because you could just walk in there,
Be like, hey, that
be
one
like,
with the zip
this
tie,
one
that's
right
mine.
here. Yeah, exactly. Because a bunch of them were zip tied, whereas he maintained a presence in the locker room the whole time. Couldn't he just watch and see if people were trying to break locks?
Yeah.
And then tell them to stop?
Yeah.
It's a system that didn't make any sense.
Well,
I feel like he was just pissed off that he didn't get to be on hose duty.
they got to rotate him.
I don't know.
You think that guy's working a 12-hour shift on
He
the
might
hose?
be, yeah. He might be a senior, that's what you do.
hoser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be mad about that because I might use a cheap lock if I don't have much that I care about in there in the first place.
Yeah, and then you just broke my $3 lock.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, all I had in there was, I don't know, some bubble gum that I was hoping to enjoy after my swim in the pool. Thanks a lot.
Tom, I got swindled at this pool because also they, as they were letting me in, they were like, let me see your lock. Right before they'd let me into the pool,
They're very concerned about these locks.
and I was like, "Here's my lock," and they're like, "Can't use it. You can't come in." And I was like, "Why?" They're like, "It's too cheap. People pop these locks all the time." It's like, "Oh, you mean the police officer?" And they're like, "Just walk over to that table. Sold me a $15 lock."
No, that's how they get you.
So I had to do that.
What'd they sell you? A master lock?
It was some master lock knockoff.
Oh, they're selling you a knockoff?
Yeah, and the cop was still. I saw him pop one of those locks.
Oh, man, that's a pretty good scam. Sell you a lock, and then they break it.
And then they just take it.
Yeah.
Break it and take it. And
Yeah,
then probably
they
sell it, put
sell
it
to the
back
next
in that
rube.
package. Ugh. Well, anyway, I'm very glad we got that important addendum to the first segment.
Tim, this week we're talking about a topic that, one of these topics, again, can't believe we've never talked about.
You've talked about this a
But
great
not
deal
as-
in real life. Like,
Right.
you've talked my ear off about this topic.
Yeah, but there's not a topic that we've done an episode about, and that is lucid dreaming.
Lucid?
Yeah,
Dreaming.
I kind of pronounced it loose dreaming,
Yeah.
but it's lucid dreaming.
I've asked you not to eat giant roast beef sandwiches while we're...
Well, I'm hungry, Tim. I gotta keep my energy up during the show.
I've never seen somebody consume as much roast beef as you do in a day.
I run on roast. That's what I say. So I got tattooed.
Run on roast.
Run on roast. Everybody at Arby's knows that. Like, hey, here he is, the guy who runs on roast. Anyway, lucid dreaming, Tim. Do you know what lucid dreaming is? Despite you just saying that I've told you that I talked your ear off about it, that's no proof that you've ever listened.
That is true. I actually do tune you out a lot. And also, you seem to, like, we've had these conversations years ago, and I feel like they always happen when it was like 3 a.m. and we're both drunk, and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, you ever
Okay,
try
man.
lucid dreaming and
Hey,
change
man.
your life?
Yeah. Well, go to sleep right now. I'll walk you through it. So,
I'll be in my dream.
Yeah.
I'll pop over to your dream.
yeah, I'll wait for you.
Will we ever have the technology to share dreams? I know this has nothing to do with lucid dreaming.
Well, if you believe the movie Inception,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, then we will.
See, that's something you would have made fun of me for asking. But then, oh, Chris Nolan does it. Oh, suddenly it's cool. Oh,
Chris
suddenly.
Nolan, Tim Hollywood over here.
Yeah.
Well,
If your name was Christopher,
yeah,
would you go by Topher
I
or
would-
Christoph?
I would go by Kissifer.
Nice.
They didn't explain the technology in Inception. Like it was kind of meant as a
lark, a
fantastical,
fanciful, yeah, okay.
Like okay, this exists in the world, and believe us, trust us, and sit back and watch the rest of this movie.
Right.
But to start off, lucid dreaming is
Lozenge.
what?
You said lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming is
Lucid dreaming.
lucid
Dreaming.
dreaming. Lucid dreaming is knowing you're in a dream. That at its basic level, and everybody's experienced this. where they're having a dream.
I don't know if everybody has experienced this. I think that's a
all
bold
right.
claim
well,
to make.
All right, babies listening to the show might not have.
No. I think it's rarer than you
Most
think.
people have experienced this. Right now, everybody's nodding their head. Yeah, he's right. I've had this happen. Where you're dreaming, and then all of a sudden, you go, hey, wait a minute. This is a dream. I'm inside a dream right now.
I don't think this happens very naturally.
It doesn't happen very often. Some people it might only happen a couple of times in their life, but it still happens.
Sad.
Yeah, but it still happens. Now, the practice of lucid dreaming is basically trying to control that, trying to make that thing that might not happen at all for some people, but most people maybe only a handful of times in their life, trying to replicate it reliably so they can say, you know what? I'm always going to know that I'm in my dreams so that I can go hog wild.
Yeah, you know what?
I know what you're going to say.
No.
It's a thing for perverts.
This is what creeps me out about people that are too into lucid dreaming. It's like, what do you want to do so bad that you can't do in your real life?
Yeah. Well,
right? Like, okay. Besides flying, like, I've had a lucid dream, and I've only had a couple in my life.
No, sad.
Yeah, it is sad. But, like, when I realized it, I was like, oh, this is a lucid dream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fly around.
Yeah.
And I did, and it was great. Besides that...
What way did you fly? Did you fly like Peter Pan or like Superman?
I think more like Peter Pan.
Oh, lame.
I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, I
dun,
sang a
I'm
song.
flying.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I went and visited these two boys and their sister, and
They were wearing footy pajamas.
yeah. I taught them how to fly.
Yeah. And I stole them and brought them to pirates.
Tim, you'd be a good Peter Pan for Halloween. You should do that one year.
Why?
I don't know. Just looking at you, you'd be a good Peter Pan.
What makes me good? Like I'm lithe?
Yeah, Tim. You look like how they usually have like women play Peter Pan in a musical. You can be like a woman version of a small boy. You have to get rid of the beard though. And you're always getting into trouble with pirates. You're always getting into scrapes. Tim's left the building. Tim's not coming back. I apologize, Tim.
I just don't understand.
No.
I'm not offended.
It's just
I'm not offended. I'm taking this as a compliment.
It's a gut feeling,
but
Tim.
the way you're delivering it like a bully would say like you're like a 15-year-old bully.
Mm-hmm.
And this is locker room talk, and you know I hate locker room talk. Tom.
Right. Yeah. And I'm pulling on all the locks while,
Yeah, exactly.
while I'm saying this. I'm like, yeah, and your lock's too cheap here.
I thought you were going to say, because my tiny green hat.
No.
With a feather
but you
in
know
it.
what? Now that you mention it, yeah, that would fit perfectly. Maybe that's where I got the impression that
you forget that I'm
Pan.
wearing the hat because it's so much a part of my identity, right?
Yeah, it's just intrinsically linked to you.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think.
Did you fly around in the sky? Because I've had nightmares where like gravity turns off, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go into space.
Oh no, I don't know. Your dream world is a lot more
like
fleshed out
trying
than
to
mine.
grab onto the ground.
Now it's just like, hey, I can fly. But then that thing happened to me, like in gym class when you climb the rope. You ever climb the rope and then you realize, oh no, I'm like really high off the ground, and you get that like pit in your stomach, and you're like, I think I'll stop here, thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you got scared of flying too high.
Yeah, I got that feeling in a dream.
Yeah,
and I was like, Tim, nothing's
it's
gonna
a dream,
happen.
you dummy.
And then I don't know if that rumor that if you die in a dream, you die in real life is the real thing.
How would anybody even know that? Unless people could share dreams, then they might.
Or if they... Tom,
mm-hmm.
Are you so naive as to believe that the government has not developed a machine that you could hook up to somebody's head and see their dreams
They
on
have
a television
something like
screen?
that. They have something where they can like get people's memories out.
Yeah, they did it with a cat's brain.
No. I don't think so. I think you're thinking of something else.
Yeah, well, they did something with a cat's brain, and they could see a cat's memory.
Tim, did one of the boys at the school tell you this?
No, I vaguely remember reading an article about this years ago in the Weekly World News.
No, they did an experiment where they like showed people video and then like read their brain and then kind of like reverse engineered, and they were like, oh, we can like pirate movies. So I don't think they can pirate movies that way, but they could.
Wait, like you see a movie and then I download the movie off your brain?
Yeah, but it's like a real bad copy.
Yeah. And if it has your stupid thoughts and commentary go through.
Oh, this part's pretty good.
Yeah, Batman's really got some good fighting moves.
Whoa,
he must have trained with Ra's al Ghul.
He must have. Of course he did, Tim. I know he did. Anyway, so some people have experienced lucid dreaming on their own, but then there are people who are like, you know what? I got a taste, or maybe I haven't even had a taste yet, but I want to be able to do this all the time. And besides creep things,
what else? Name one thing besides flying that you want to do in a lucid dream that you can't do on Earth.
Well, some people use it, Tim. Top athletes, for example.
No. Why do you want to do it? Why do you, Tom Reynolds, want to do it?
Mostly just for flying, to be honest.
No,
What?
you creepo.
What?
You want to, take upskirt pictures and stuff.
Take upskirt pictures.
Without fear of...
any kind of retribution?
Yeah.
No, I've only... Well, I'll get into...
You grope people in a crowded place. I want to be like one of those creepos at Woodstock 99.
What?
I'm so bummed I missed Woodstock 99 setting fires and assaulting people.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah, no, maybe I can just relive Woodstock 99 in my dream.
Yeah.
And,
I'll go to sleep with Red Hot Chili Peppers playing every night.
Yeah, and Biz. Limp Biz.
Limp Biz.
That's what I call him. That's what you do? You lucid dreams? So
no, I do a lot of the things that top athletes do, Tim, which is train inside my dreams.
What the hell are you talking
You
about?
can train in your dreams, and it helps you in real life.
Yeah, but you would never do that. You don't train in real life, Tom.
Yeah, but I would train in a dream. It'd be easier. You're in a dream. No sweat, literally.
You've woken up from dreams in a cold sweat.
I wake up in a cold sweat every night, multiple times a night. No, you can like train for stuff. People do use it for like to get over like psychological issues. If they're like, oh, I need to confront like even something like a fear of heights. Like I need to confront my fear of heights, so I'll do that in a dream. Or I need
Why
to
don't
confront.
you just do that in the real world, you coward?
Because you could fall off, and then you'd be like, oh, I was right on your way down. But it wouldn't happen in a dream unless you die in the dream. Then you die in real life.
Yeah. Oh, so we do know this.
Oh yeah.
Secret government, recently declassified government secrets.
I mean, at the very least, that would definitely be the case in lucid dreaming.
What, dying?
Yeah, because you know it's a dream and you know you die.
If you know it's a dream,
well,
you're not going to conquer any fears.
No, you can, because it's super realistic, and then you bring that into your everyday life, and you go, oh, this is no big deal. I'm blurring the lines between fiction and reality, so everything's fine.
This is bunk, man. You just want to do gross things.
But so there are some problems with lucid dreaming. The big
that only creeps and criminals really want to do it.
No, one of the criminals. One of the problem. If a criminal, Tim, if anything, it'll keep criminals off the street.
Yeah, no, yeah.
If they could just commit their crimes,
satiate their gross desires.
Yeah. Well, what if you just want
to?
What if you want to have like a really delicious meal?
Then get a delicious meal.
Well, what if it's too expensive? What if the meal you want is out of reach? What if you
want
what?
What
foie
meal?
gras?
What's that?
It's the liver.
No, I know. Just pronounce it again.
Foie gras.
No, Tom.
Foie gras.
Dilettante.
Dilettante. What were we talking about?
I don't know. You were trying to think of things that weren't gross that people want to do in lucid dreams.
Eat.
So they want to eat good meals and train for athletic events?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
I mean, those are the first two things that pop into
No.
my mind
No.
when I think about what would I do if there were no consequences. But it's very tough, Tim, to stay in a dream once you know it's a dream. That's the trick. That's where they get you. Because as soon as you know it's a dream, pretty much your brain's like, oh, well, let's get out of here then. He's on to us.
Yeah, rightfully so. He's like, oh, no, he's going to try to do some gross things.
But you can keep yourself in the dream. There's a few tricks. You want to know some of the tricks?
I know one of them.
What is it? Something gross?
No, turn yourself around.
Turn yourself around.
Yeah.
Spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just turn yourself around once. You got to keep spinning. Spin.
You know what? That's where I went wrong in my flying dream. I stopped spinning because, like, what kind of world is it where you have to spin nonstop to stay? Like, it's
you don't
it's
have to
not
do it
worth
nonstop,
it.
but you spin, and all of a sudden everything goes like, everything kind of comes back into focus. And then you can go, okay.
How
a
many
dream.
lucid dreams have you had?
Probably like 24 more. Dozens. For a little while, I was really into this.
What were you
and we'll
doing?
get
No,
into.
No, hold on. What were you doing in these dreams, Tom?
Well, Tim, you're going to have to invent the technology to.
It's been invented, but you won't let the government do this to you.
To see my dreams for you to know. Nothing interesting. I'll tell you what. Here's what most of. God, it's hot in here. Most of my. It's getting real hot in here.
For those of you listening at home, I'm shining a very large spotlight on Tom right
Yeah,
now.
keeping that glass of ice cold water just out of reach. All right, Tim. I know you're sitting there. You're probably thinking, all this lucid dreaming, this sounds great. This sounds like I'm in. I'm on board. But you'd be foolish to feel that way because there can be some pitfalls that you need to watch out for.
Besides dying in a dream.
Besides dying in a
real
dream, yeah. Number one on the pitfall hit list.
Let's hear a drum roll, Anton Fig.
Night terrors.
Why?
Because you can get night terrors.
But if you know you're in a dream,
Doesn't matter.
Shouldn't that lessen everything? Shouldn't
it
be
should
like,
lessen. It should dull the real world for you. But you can still get night terrors because here's why lucid dreaming works, or why dreaming works, and what.
Oh, this is not going to be a correct explanation. And Tom, I know you think this is correct. So
No, because when you dream,
I'll humor you.
When you dream, and this is what like night terrors are. When you dream, your body knows, like, all right, we're dreaming. This dope's gonna be flailing around like an idiot. Shut down the body. Shut it all off.
Right.
Pull the big switch. But then the problem is, if you wake up and the little man who throws that switch, he's asleep at the switch himself.
This is exactly how I thought you understood it.
Yeah, and this is how science understands it. Then you're awake, but you can't move because your body still thinks you're dreaming, and it's like, hey, don't let this dope move. He'll throw himself off the bed.
Right.
So you gotta look out for night terrors.
Wait, that's night terror? No, that's sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis and night terrors. Sleep paralysis is a form of a night terror.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew what night terrors.
Well,
I don't think that's what night terror is.
No, they are, because you can also have sleep paralysis, but then night terror is like you think something's in the room with you, watching you.
Right.
And you can't move to go see.
It's my understanding that that's not what night terrors is.
You think it's really aliens?
No, I think it's just like really scary dreams.
Yeah.
Because I've had sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever, like, it happened a lot, like, in my high school days, like, on the weekends, when I would sleep real late.
Yeah, you were just looking for an excuse.
About, like, the fourth or fifth time I'd wake up after going back to sleep, because it's like, it's Saturday, shut up, Mom and Dad. I don't have to do anything. No rules. I hate you for making me do things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I'd wake up at, like, 12:30 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And I'd be like, I can't move.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to wake up. Mom and Dad, I'm waking up at 12:30 because it's grunge.
Yeah, it's grunge. Get me my... Stop washing my flannels. They're
It's
supposed to
grunge.
be
Get over
crusty.
it.
Yeah, I got long hair, and I hang out in coffee shops with Janine Garofalo and Ben Stiller. And it's me, Ethan Hawke.
I saw Janine Garofalo the other night. She was very funny.
Yeah, she's very little.
Yeah. She's
Right?
She's very small.
She's tiny.
Mhm.
She's a tiny lady.
Tiny dynamo.
She really speaks my language. She just complains about things on stage now. She doesn't have any bits, right?
No. She didn't really have any jokes.
I saw Janine Garofalo recently,
Mhm.
and her set was like this kind of joke repeated like 5 times. It was like very short. She's like, "Ugh, this asshole who lives down the hall from me puts his boxes in the trash room. You don't even break them down. It's like, hey, asshole, break down your fucking boxes. Who's gonna? You're gonna? Oh, somebody else has to break down your boxes for you.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh, okay. You're too good to break down your boxes. Okay, yeah, just leave them there. Someone will take care of it. And there's 5 more jokes exactly like that. And she's like, all right, good night, guys.
Let me ask you about breaking down boxes since you brought it up.
Yeah.
What if you fill the boxes with other boxes?
Well, then there's just one box.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Tom,
sometimes-
as a guy who was your roommate for a
Yeah.
couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
you are the worst about breaking down boxes. You won't do it. You don't even rinse out cans.
Well, I don't have time to break down boxes, Tim. I'm too busy breaking down barriers between people.
In your dreams?
In my dreams, sometimes I practice
you're
in my
breaking
dreams.
down barriers that the law in the real world prevents
Yeah.
from being broken.
No. Tim, I always abide by the law in my dreams.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Except sometimes I need to take justice into my own hands in my
Now,
dreams.
do you fight like bad guys? Do you come up with scenarios in your dreams?
Well, here's the problem with lucid dreaming. The more complicated everything is, the more difficult it is to do it. So if you want to just be like a hippie dreamer, you just want to go with the flow, man, and then be like, hey, I'm in a dream. And like, I'm just going to be real chill with whatever the situation is here.
Groovy, man. Yeah. Right?
That's easier than being like, all right, I'm going to be real type A. I'm going to be like, you know what? This is what I want to have a dream about. This is what I'm going to be like. This is what the other people are going to be like.
I'm going to Minecraft the environment around me. Yeah.
Then it becomes very difficult because your brain is, it becomes difficult to trick your brain because your brain's going, oh, we're doing all this. This ain't real.
Right.
You're doing too much work, and then you're kind of
we're doing too much computing here.
You're ruining the illusion for yourself, and that's the tricky thing, Tim. You're walking a tightrope the whole time because you can just sit and imagine anything.
You ever walk a tightrope in a lucid dream?
No, be pretty good. I'd like to try walking a tightrope in real life, though.
Not me.
I mean, not across like 2 buildings or anything like that. You know, start out small. At least for the first time.
Yeah. Once you get that.
Yeah, once I get the hang of it, sure, I'll go between 2 buildings. But, you know, you can just sit and imagine anything you'd like. But you're not going to confuse yourself into thinking that that's real, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's the same thing in a dream.
I get worked up about things that I think about a lot.
It's the same thing in a dream.
I don't know. I think about things actually a lot and convince myself they're going to happen.
Well, not that they're going to.
Right now,
no.
I'm convinced that my apartment's on fire.
No, but I'm saying like convince yourself with your imagination that something's happening around you. Like no matter how hard you sit there, Tim, you can't imagine that we're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean right now and believe it.
That's true.
But it's the same thing in dreams.
Pacific, I'll give you.
It's the same thing in dreams that if you try to create too much around it, then your brain's like, all right, now we're just playing make-believe here.
Right.
So you got to walk that line. And then it becomes very difficult because then you start to wake up. Or you forget that you're in a dream and all of a sudden, you know, let's say I want to have a dream where I'm fighting crime. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to be in an alley and all these street toughs are going to come down the alley. But now I'm controlling too much of the dream. I'm like, oh, I got to back off. Then I forget it's a dream, and then I just get the shit kicked out of me by a bunch of street toughs.
Oh, wow.
You know, how's that for a kick in the alley?
In the everywhere, yeah. What are the other pitfalls of lucid dreaming? So I keep interrupting you because you have such a weird lifestyle.
Look, first off, I don't really do this.
Tom, you've had dozens. I remember a time where you bought books about it. You read up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, sorry I'm well read, Tim.
You're not well read. You just read about this one thing.
Yeah, sorry.
And all those pickup artist books.
I did not read any of those. I did read that one. I read that first one just because it was fascinating. Did I tell you that I was at a place with pickup artists, I think, somewhat recently?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, that was...
Do you want to tell...
No, I mean, there really wasn't anything to it except that I got to act like a tough guy, kind of.
A guy was in a Williamsburg bar in his...
No, it was New York City, Tim. It was Manhattan, big town.
Oh. In his
big
junior
apple.
Prom suit.
Yeah. It was a pickup artist field trip, I'm pretty sure. It was at Barcade, which is a bar arcade. And of course,
and you were there, Tom?
And I was there, yeah, and a bunch of pickup artists in training. And this guy, I was there with two women, and this guy did not get any not
hints.
even hints. Did not take, oh, no, thank you. We're not interested from these women.
Let's see, now I will neg them. Yeah, well, that's because you're ugly.
Well,
You're too ugly.
He did say oh, well, I can see this one's awfully aggressive.
The women love being referred to as this one.
Yeah. Well, and he was talking to me oh, this guy knows.
Yeah.
And then that's when I stood up and I said, well, you're being really an asshole.
Ooh.
And the whole place went, ooh.
And then you had somebody to spin around to keep the dream going.
Somebody died in Pac-Man and went, womp, 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 womp. Right at that moment, right when it was real quiet.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's poetic.
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like.
So
what are the other pitfalls?
The other pitfalls, this is a big one that I run into all the time. Not all the time, I don't really do this. Is no, even if I'm sure it's a dream, I'm not really sure. Because I can just imagine going to jail forever. Not that I do bad things in my dreams.
Well, what are you doing in these dreams? Name 3 things you've done in a
Well,
lucid
one time
dream.
I stabbed a guy a bunch of times.
Who, me? It was me.
No, it was just a guy. And it was maybe I shouldn't say these things. It was literally just because I knew it was a lucid dream. And somebody was talking to me. I'm like, this isn't real. And I manifested a knife and just
this is why
stabbed him.
You
to
know
death.
what? This is you playing Grand Theft Auto. And this is just
oh, come on, Mom.
a
Just
virtual
little bit
reality Grand Theft Auto. Oh man, when they come out with that sick nonsense for the VR.
Sick nonsense.
What? Where it's
you just sound like such a grandpa, man. Hey, it's cool. Just go and lucid dream and stab somebody. I just did it just to prove I could do it.
Cool, Tom.
But that was the last time I swear I'll never do it again. No, but that was the only time that I really did do anything illegal, because immediately after that, I just thought, even though I'm 100% sure there's a dream, what if this wasn't a dream?
Right.
And it wasn't even oh yeah, I stabbed that guy because I really wanted to and I really hated him. No, I just did it to do it, just as a goof.
Like in The Stranger.
Yeah, just like in The Stranger.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fall into that anymore. So that always happened in my dreams, where I was like, I can fly. And I would fly around the room. I'd be like, time to take this outside. Ooh, what if it's not real though? Or what if there's just something, what if this isn't a dream? There's just something special about this room I can fly.
Well, that's weird dream logic. Then you should recognize that as weird dream logic. Have you ever been in a real life room where it's just been oh no, you can fly in here, but don't try to take it outside? No, you're trying to tell me that you were in a room where you can fly. This is not. No, I'm not talking about an airplane.
No. But I'm thinking about what about the Gravitron at a carnival where you stick to the walls?
Yeah, but you're not flying around.
Yeah, but I'm not sticking to the walls usually and climbing up the walls. I can't climb up the walls in real life. I could climb up the walls of a Gravitron, no problem.
That's true. Would you?
Well, some problem once it gets going too fast.
How much money would you need to be paid to go into a Gravitron right now? I think I would die almost immediately. I'd just be screaming, turn it off, I can't breathe.
So for people that don't know what Gravitron is, it's that ride at a carnival that just spins so fast that you're stuck to the walls.
It looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, it looks like a UFO,
against
a flying saucer.
wall, and it spins around.
Yeah. I would not, you wouldn't, yeah, I would be very reluctant, to say the least, to go on one of those open air Gravitrons. The closed ones, I kind of have no problem with, because once they get going fast enough, you don't really know that you're spinning.
Yeah, I don't know. Remember when you'd like be able to like make yourself go upside down and stuff? You climb along the walls and stuff.
You had a very short window
where
the gravity was strong enough to keep you up, but not so strong that you couldn't move.
I feel like I'm at the age where I think we should open an amusement park for people like age 30 and up.
With what?
With like safe words where it's like you can like stop a ride at any time
and ruin it for everybody else that's on the ride.
I think they'll all be happy to have it stop too.
Well, Tim, it's always a bad idea to open a business for people that don't really want to do.
Yeah, but you kind of want to do it, but like you want to prove that these old bones still got it in them.
Yeah, but then go to a real amusement park. You're not going to go to...
Yeah, and die on a Gravitron? No, thank you.
You're not going to die on a Gravitron.
I could take maybe 30 seconds of a Gravitron. After that, my organs will start failing.
At worst, you'd pass out, and you probably wouldn't even pass out. You'd be fine.
I don't know.
Unless you started to throw up, and then you couldn't, and it'd just get stuck and choke you to death.
Exactly. That's how Jimi Hendrix died.
The Gravitron?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. So, yeah, you got to be real careful in lucid dreams that you're not blurring reality and fiction and, trying to fly out the window.
Yeah. If I ever do something terrible, well,
blame it on a lucid dream.
I shouldn't say this publicly, but I will definitely be using the lucid dream defense.
Yeah, well, they're going to be playing this back in a court one day. Right now, they're playing it back.
Hey!
And I'm looking at you going, ooh, sorry.
No, you're the victim. They'll be like, he warned his victim.
I'm sitting in the courtroom with like a neck brace and my arm in a sling.
And days before the attack, Tim.
The brazen defendant. Oh, yeah, that was the last thing that I want to talk about on this topic. Is just that I do have a lucid dreaming mask that I've never been able to get to work properly.
When you ordered that.
Well, it was like a Kickstarter long time ago. Like when Kickstarter first started, when they had to kickstart Kickstarter.
Yeah. Got very meta those days.
I got a lucid dreaming mask that, a lot of Kickstarter projects took like a year longer than they said it would to get there. And the idea of this, because there are high-end versions of these, they're like, $600 or whatever, that basically can detect the REM movement, rapid eye movement. Mm-hmm. So just RE movement in that case. They can detect REM sleep.
When you're in REM sleep, yeah.
Yeah, which is when you're dreaming. And they detect REM, and they go, hey, this knucklehead's dreaming. Send him a signal. And usually that signal is like a sound or like some flashing lights, like a pattern of lights. This, to make it cheaper, does not detect REM. You just kind of set like an alarm. So you're like, you know what? In an hour, do this. I'll probably be in REM sleep. And if I'm not,
REM sleep, once you get it,
you got it.
No, it's about 90 minutes after you fall asleep.
Yeah, something like that.
And then goes in cycles of like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wish there was just one type of sleep.
What do you mean?
I don't like that there's all these cycles that are going on.
What do you care?
Because I don't like things happening when I'm not aware of it.
Well, I mean, you're kind of aware of it.
No, you're literally unconscious.
Yeah, well, when you're dreaming, though, you're like, here we are, another REM cycle.
I don't dream much.
Well, then, you do, you just don't remember it.
Okay, thanks.
Well,
thanks, Dr. Science. No. It's the way it was your body language while you told me.
Like, justify it any way you want, Tim. But I worked very hard to get that doctorate, and I'll not have you besmirch my reputation on this show.
All right.
You don't. So I would think lucid dreaming be right up your alley if you don't like things happening without you knowing.
I'd like to. You know what? I tried lucid dreaming for a while. And
what a creep. What a perv.
Well, it happened once or twice, and I was just like, cool, lucid dream. I guess I'll fly. What? And then I was like, this is cool. All right.
Well, it's a little bit, too, the paradox of choice when you're like, I can do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
What should I do?
And people like you are like, well, I'll stab someone to death.
Just that one time.
I'll go to Woodstock 99 and grope all the people in the crowd.
Look, Tim, I don't like you repeating this very specific thing you made up because it's specific enough that it sounds like, people are talking right now.
Yeah, I wonder how I would have learned that you...
They're like, yeah, Tom probably told him that off air.
Yeah, I wonder.
And Tim just keeps alluding to it.
Tom, if any of our listeners out there are creeps, here's how they can lucid dream. Number 1, every morning you wake up, keep yourself a dream journal.
Yeah.
Write down every detail you can remember.
Dear
every
dream
last
diary.
lustful detail.
Yeah.
Why is that? So like you just like
it's training yourself to become more aware of your dreams. If you think about your dreams in waking life, then you're going to think more about them in dreaming life.
Right. Okay. Well, then this is another weird thing to do. Throughout the day, just ask yourself, am I dreaming?
Yeah. Ask it out loud.
Am I dreaming?
Mm-hmm.
Just like your boss, your coworkers.
Yeah. Well, and you get into a habit of it, and then that habit's going to follow through into your dreams. And then you're going to go, am I dreaming? Oh, I am. Sooner or later, it's going to be the case.
Yeah, okay. As you're falling asleep, keep repeating to yourself, I will be aware that I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
I will be aware that I'm dreaming. I don't like this aspect of it.
You don't have to repeat it out loud.
Yeah, but still.
But it does help.
Yeah, okay. The other thing is try to wake yourself up during REM sleep, then go back to sleep.
Right, because then you'll still be in the REM cycle.
Yeah.
You'll go right into it.
Right. And then lots of vitamin B, which I don't believe that. I don't think vitamins do anything. I don't think any vitamin has ever done anything.
Well,
I think it's all a scam.
Vitamins do things.
Yeah, no, you were wrong. Prove it. I'd say to you, prove it, Tom.
Well, I'm not even saying like pill vitamins. I'm saying vitamins that occur naturally in things.
Yeah, and I'm saying that's not the case.
Right. Because you can't see them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't prove it.
Yeah.
You can't prove it.
It's true.
How the hell are we supposed to know this?
Yeah, what are we supposed to do? Trust scientists?
The other thing is, like, if you're sleeping in a bed with someone else, lucid dreaming is a little weird, right? Like, you're like, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna lucid dream now.
Good night.
I'm gonna wake myself up.
I'm aware this is a dream. I'm aware this is a dream. Well, yeah, and you better hope that sleep paralysis kicks in.
Yeah.
Or else
otherwise you'll be groping people at Woodstock 99 in your head, and really it's
the person next to you in bed. Yeah.
It's the Bert to your Ernie.
And let alone if you're gonna stab them.
Yeah. Well. Again, might be the perfect crime.
No, that's another, like, anytime I've had a lucid dream, I've never been able to remember like where I fell asleep. So I'm always thinking, like, what if I'm like asleep on an airplane right now? And what I'm saying out loud is I'm actually saying, like, oh yeah, Einstein, prove it. And
well, that's probably the most benign.
Everybody in the plane's like, what's this guy talking about?
He'd be like, man, yeah, I did it all for the nookie. And this person doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Group.
Yeah, let's set this hot dog stand on fire.
Yeah. Screw authority.
Yeah. I'm covered in mud.
More assaults in the crowd.
Yeah. Tear everything down. Woodstock 99. Woo!
White men on top, baby!
Yeah. Imagine if you're on a plane and you just start hearing somebody in their sleep start screaming those things. They have an emergency landing.
No, that's not the scary. Like, that's like
we
the
thought
most
there
benign.
We thought there was a Woodstock 99 happening on the plane.
A Woodstock 99 can be so easily avoided. Or, like, quelled. Right? Like, those were just, like, boys from high school.
Well, how would it be quelled, you're saying?
You're just like, I'm going to call your parents. Like,
well, they'd have to know who their parents were, Tim. Some of these boys didn't even have shirts on.
That's true.
It'd be nearly impossible to tell who they were, let alone covered in mud.
Not 99, man. It was 94.
No, I always get them mixed up.
Woodstock 94
The
was
original,
just 3 days of peace, love, and music, man.
The original
The first
Woodstock,
yeah.
You want to solve a problem?
Yeah, let's solve a problem. Hey there, partners, and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. My name is Tim.
And I'm Tom.
What was that?
That was...
you clearing your throat?
No, you said partners. I was being a cowboy with 6 shooters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool motif.
I'm going to dream about it later.
Every week we solve a problem. This doesn't happen every week. We'll solve a problem from a listener. If you want your problem solved, email us at thecompleteguide@gmail.com. Tom?
Yeah.
This week is a question that is near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
It comes from a fella, I assume, named Rodrigo.
Okay. That's typically a feller's name.
Yeah. Hey, Tim and Tom, but mainly Tim. Tom is cool too, though.
Thank you.
Since around high school, I've been quite into Jeopardy, like Tim, like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I DVR the show every night and watch it while having dinner. For the last 3 years, I've been doing the online test, which, due to its quickness, can be quite challenging.
That's to get on the show for real.
Right. After years of playing Quiz Bubble and trying to get better at trivia, I finally got an invitation to an audition in Boston. Part of the audition, it will be a 50-question test and mock game in which you also have to have a Jeopardy-style interview with a quirky story. I want to come across as cool and interesting instead of talking about the lame things some people talk about. Here's where you guys come in. I have a few stories which you guys can help me choose. And he lists 5. Okay. Now, before we go into this, for people not familiar with Jeopardy, it's a quiz show, blah, blah, blah. After round 1, single Jeopardy, right before, or in the middle of single Jeopardy.
Yeah, after the first commercial, right?
Right. They come back, Alex Trebek interviews
the
contestant, and Alex Trebek has been doing this for 30 years.
He goes, it says here that you're a teacher.
Yeah, but...
What's that like?
No, but sometimes
they're
like,
leading questions.
Yeah, because here's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even sure Rodrigo is aware of this.
Sound like such a... I'm not even sure he knows about this.
Says the guy who has failed the online test 16 years in a row. You submit, I think, 3. Like, you work with your anecdotes.
Yeah.
And then Alex, while he's walking over to he chooses the one.
On the fly.
But he is such a terrible conversationalist that, like, he picks the worst one and then, like, always has a weird angle to it. So, we'll read through these, but I think we can engineer a better one out of these.
Okay.
Number 1. When I used to play basketball in high school, I was the shortest player on the team, but was a tough player, so my coach gave me the nickname Mighty Mouse. By the end of the season, all my teammates called me that.
Okay.
Now, if Rodrigo told me this at a party,
I'd be like,
I'm like, oh, God, I'd pull the fire alarm.
Yeah.
All right. Or it might, if it wasn't a place where you pull a fire alarm, I'd start a fire. So the smoke alarm would go off. Number 2. When I was 8 years old and traveling as an unaccompanied minor in Miami, an airline worker lost my passport.
And then what?
Well, they only have about 25 seconds.
Yeah, but I'm doing all right.
All right. Yeah, I understand. Tom, I'm with you.
Okay.
Number 3. I would like to use my winnings. Well, that's a lot of...
hey, come on.
To go to Machu Picchu with my girlfriend. I'm originally from Peru.
Okay.
Now, this is a boring story. However, I mean, it's cool that you're from Peru. Like, that's it. However, this is something that Alex Trebek
He's going to latch onto
it because he will have some stupid, obvious fact about Machu Picchu that he will then make the story about him and about how he went somewhere. And, like, you won't get a word in edgewise, which will be good for you if you make it on the show. Like, you won't have to, like, worry about being witty or something. You just have to go, ha, 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 yeah, no, I'm from Peru, yes.
I'm thinking about the next category here.
Number 4. I go to the same university that Alex Trebek went to, the University of Ottawa, and have been at the Alex Trebek Alumni Hall.
Okay.
This is a good story because it plays...
His vanity.
Here's what you got to do. Spice it up a little. What happened to you at what can this guy say that would be good for none of your lucid dream ideas?
I stabbed a man.
It'd be good for I groped someone at the hall at the alumni hall. Name for you, sir. I groped them good. What could you say that you did like
well, it's a hall, so
it's an like alumni hall.
Oh, so okay.
Because like he'll be like, oh, he loves talking about Canada.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody talks about like, vegans. They'll let you know if they're a vegan. Blah blah blah. Nobody talks about you know whether someone's Canadian or not within 4 milliseconds of me. I'm from Canada.
I'm from Canada.
I love Canadians. Canadians better than Americans in every way.
Well, I would never say that, Tim.
Canucks, love them. Can't get enough.
What's
of
the next?
Well, what could we say? What could he say happened to him at the alumni hall? Or he, I don't know.
He should. You should claim that he put out a fire there or something. He saved the hall.
Yeah, he saved the hall.
Yeah.
Number 5. I once lost a trivia competition in high school on a question about Top Chef.
See, you don't want something like that to come up when maybe they're doing those interviews and you're already like negative $50,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, you're
We've
bad
never
at
had
trivia.
somebody lose so much money.
Yeah. So, look, don't project weakness in the interview. You don't want to do that. Like, that's not self-deprecating. Right. If Ken Jennings on his 73rd episode,
right, or if he's back for the round of champions or whatever.
Oh, I lost a trivia People are like, oh man, this really smart guy.
Yeah.
People don't know Rodrigo from Adam, right? So it's like, don't be like, hey, here's a funny thing about me. I'm not good at trivia.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not good at it.
Yeah, no shit. Most people aren't.
What's the next one?
That's it. That's 5.
Oh, that's the 5?
I think you go, if you had to put 3, you go number 1, Alex Trebek Hall, Alumni Hall.
I would try and...
But you saved a lady.
I would try and claim somebody was trying to pull like a Guy Fawkes-esque plan to destroy.
Oh, yeah.
And you single-handedly stopped it.
Yeah.
And then you have to come up with some reason why it wasn't in the papers. The papers are all corrupt.
You know what? You might have trouble going back to the University of Ottawa, though.
If he was like, it says here, you saved my alumni hall from a Guy Fawkes-esque plan to blow it up. That's interesting. I never heard about that. Yeah, well, the papers are all corrupt.
The Ottawa Sun Sentinel is it's corrupt.
It's rotten to the core.
Find out the names of the editors of all the local papers in Ottawa. And just list them off. Yeah. Be like, oh, I'm not surprised you haven't heard of it. Yeah. It's a good one. Machu Picchu, he loves talking about. He'll be like, oh, the thing, and the blah, 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 blah.
He'll pronounce it differently to be like, oh, actually, it's Machu Picchu.
Yeah. I guess that basketball one.
Yeah, I mean, because
that shows you got gumption.
I mean,
they like gumption.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, nobody gets on these shows because they have a great anecdote, as proven by the anecdotes you hear on Jeopardy pretty much every day.
Yeah, I would argue that that's more Alex's fault.
Well,
Nope. This is the perfectly engineered. You proposed to your wife
Uh-huh.
at Alex Trebek Alumni Hall?
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Because like everybody's got their boring proposal story. Oh, I proposed to my wife in France. Cool.
No.
Awesome.
And
Thanks. Get back to the game, please.
Right.
Have Alex Trebek read the clues and provide the questions, please.
Yeah, but you impress him with something like that. Maybe when he goes back to his podium, he'll fiddle with the cables a little bit when it's the other people's turns to buzz in.
That's true.
You know, and then
All the wires run through his podium.
Yeah,
Not a lot of
that's
people
where they
know
all
that.
plug in, and he'll give you a little wink when somebody's like, "My damn buzzer's not working."
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Yeah, perfect. I look forward to watching you on Jeopardy, Rodrigo.
Hey, good luck, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I'm very jealous of you. I mean, I'm not jealous. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Well, I mean, you have nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Rodrigo's my son.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What a revelation.
Yeah, I'm from Peru, Tom.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to be. Just he would have to be. Maybe you had him in Peru.
Yeah, right. Like I'd ever step foot in Peru.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com. You can find out more about this show at tcgt.com. Hey, why don't you follow us on social media, for goodness sake? You can do so.
Whoa. Hey, Tom. A
Facebook.com.
little softer sell, please.
Facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow me and at Complete Guide on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
You can follow me on those things at your pal Tim. I posted a picture of a cat for all you cat lovers.
Hey, look at that. And why not support the show in two ways? The fun way.
I'll tell you what the fun way is. Patreon.
Yeah.
tcgte.com/pledge. You get all sorts of perks, like a free mini episode every week. Well, it's not free. You're pledging to us. A bonus mini episode. Amazing facts. This week, what's the topic, Tom?
Real life Dumbo facts.
Yeah, kind of.
No, not kind of. Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll have to listen to find out more.
And
That's how you rope them in.
yeah, that's good. Google Hangouts. You can watch us record an episode.
Mm-hmm.
You get a box full of stuff, which we're gonna send out soon, right, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
And then
And more.
Right.
And much, much more.
that's the fun way. Takes a little bit of your time and energy and money.
Uh-huh.
Is there an easy way, Tom?
Tim, there's an easy way, and it's not a either or proposition. You can do both. tcgt.com/Amazon. You can do all your regular Amazon shopping through there, and we get a little bonus, and it doesn't cost you a dime, a red penny. Hey, why not leave us a nice review on iTunes if you like the show, and tell a friend,
Yeah, tell your friends.
and check
Be like,
out.
Look, there's these two idiots that talk
Yeah.
week after week about really nothing. You probably hate the first 3 episodes that you listen to.
But they're free.
And then you fall into a rhythm and you learn to tolerate them,
Yeah.
incorporate them into your week.
They're free. And how often can you say that about something on the internet
Yeah,
where everything costs money?
yeah. We're not trying to take your money from you.
Well, I mean, the two ways we described.
Yeah, and also buy tickets to our show in Edinburgh and London.
Yeah.
tcgte.com/tour.
It's going to be a blast.
A blast from the past.
Well, I mean, not from the past. It'll just be a
Well,
blast.
I was born in 1982.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in the past.
Yeah, well, people didn't expect there to be 2 newborns on stage.
Well, maybe people thought that they'd be watching a live childbirth.
All right.
I mean, in the future, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
when like 99% of the population is infertile.
Is this part of your plan?
No, this is science. It's gonna happen. People will gather to watch childbirth in large crowds.
All right. There's nothing to do with our show. Nothing to do with people buying tickets for our show.
So it's a fact.
Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, that's a blast from the future.
Wow. Yeah. Exactly. You get it all from us. A blast from the past and a blast from the future. And a healthy dose of the present.
tcgt.com/tour. And yeah, until next week.
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
what was the best lucid dream you ever had? I'd also accept you stop making that noise.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't. Ironically, I don't really remember too many of my lucid dreams. They were all very quick. I
quick
did have,
and sexy.
Yeah, I did have
It
one.
doesn't surprise me that they're all quick.
I did have one where I could do something really cool. I forget what it was.
I had 6 extra hands to grope with.
All right. We'll see you next week.